Today's topic is a six-day creation dishonest? Thesis no. This one takes a little bit of explaining, but it'll click into place easily. Basically, the premise held by some is that the Earth is X number of millions or billions of years old, and this is demonstrated by whatever dating mechanism they use to come to their number. When they wave their magical dating device at a rock, the display lights up and it tells them that the rock is 80 million years old. Meanwhile, if you read the biblical accounts of creation, the universe is created within the span of 6 days with God resting on the seventh. How might one reconcile this discrepancy? For those who trust their rock dating device, they conclude that the Earth is indeed millions of years old, so somehow the text of Scripture must be interpreted in such a way that it accommodates their superior source of infallible information. Our ways are higher than his ways. In other words, Scripture is subservient to human reason. Therefore, 6 days has to be translated to mean 6 billion years. There are various ways that this is attempted, by trying to define the Hebrew word for day, which is yom, to mean era, or by saying some other way that the length of time in a day was relative and much longer when God created the earth than it is now. Unfortunately, the text explicitly defines day as those periods of time measured by the sun and the moon, the greater and the lesser light, and that there was evening and morning on the third day, or whatever. So the length of the day is approximately the same as it is today. Another way to get around the discrepancy is to say that there are millions or billions of years between the seventh day and the fall. The problem with this is that Adam was created on the sixth day while he lived for 930 years, most of which was after the fall, since he was 130 when he had Seth, who came after Cain, and Abel, who came after the fall. So that attempt doesn't work either. This really leaves people in a pickle. How can they reconcile the approximate age of the rock at 100 billion years old and the biblical claim that the age of the earth is under 10,000? What if God created the earth, rocks included, with the quote-unquote appearance of age? That even though the rock is only 6,000 years old, the rockometer dates it at 10,006,000 years. Herein lies the argument that God could not do this because to do so would be dishonest. God would not deceive his people by making the earth and creation appear older than it actually is. God is, after all, honest and good. My thesis that a creation of an old rock does not make God dishonest, but rather the pattern of creation he regularly displays. I'll explain. Let's put aside the reliability of the dating mechanisms and assume that whichever one you pick that gets you that really, really high number of millions and billions of years is accurate. Ask yourself this question. What examples do we have of God creating things, and how are they created? One example is a creation of light. Another example is a creation of Adam. Another example is a creation of wine from water. In the creation account, God says, "Let there be light," and there is light on the first day. It's only on the fourth day that God creates the celestial bodies, the sun, the moon, and the other various stars. These things that we view as sources of light. We know that it takes photons a long time to travel from those most distant stars, millions or billions of years, but since God created the light before he created the sources of light, he circumvented the natural order of things that we now observe by establishing a universe that is already well lit. He never had to create stars and then wait millions of years for the photons to reach the earth, but he made the light first and the stars later. It's almost like creation was a miracle, yet in all this, God was not dishonest. When God formed Adam, the account describes God creating a man. Adam, despite being created 5 seconds ago, would have had the appearance of age. He would have been indistinguishable from an adult human male. We know that it takes years for a child to mature in the womb, to be born, and to grow into a fully grown man. But God created Adam and then Eve, fully formed, fully mature, with the appearance of age. Yet in doing this, God was not dishonest. Let's fast forward to the New Testament, the wedding at Cana. Jesus turns water into wine. Those who understand the fermentation process understand that it takes a while to make grapes into wine. It takes infinitely longer, of course, to turn water itself into wine. But even if Jesus had been less miraculous and turned grapes themselves directly into wine, he would have created something in an instant that otherwise would have taken a long time to mature. Again, God acts miraculously above and beyond the otherwise standard laws of nature that he implements for the rest of us to demonstrate that he is sovereign over these processes. And again, in doing all this, God is not dishonest. With these 3 examples, and perhaps more that you can probably come up with, God has established a pattern of creation in which the things that he forms are created fully functional, fully mature, and with the appearance of age. If God can do this for light, humans, and wine, why would it be dishonest for him to do it with rocks? Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case.